Hello, how are you once again? My name is Benjamin Kinga and I am here once again. As you remember, in season 1, I was able to share my story about my business, Piki Errands. Thank you so much for all of you who have made it to view on YouTube and even on PrayerCaveTV, our previous episode, and even the other episodes that have been there in season 1 of my source show. And once again, I'm very happy and delighted and even privileged to come to you once again this season 2 of my source show. I am excited that we can be able to share a few things that I have learned in my journey in business. I would like us to just share a few tips as I have learned in my business journey. And I'm calling them the common mistakes that small businesses make. Remember, in my episode in season 1, I was able to showcase or to highlight a few of the challenges that I have faced in my business. And it is through those challenges that now I can say I have learned some of the things that I would have done differently. And that's why I want to share with you, my viewer, so that we can be able to learn how to avoid some of these mistakes that people make. Let me say that as I begin, I'm not the best, or I'm not the most knowledgeable in this field. And also I want to say that these are not the only mistakes. There are so many mistakes that people make. So please, I know that you can, you who is watching me, there are many other things or other points that you can share or you can also give in the different platforms that you have. And so let us learn together, and I know that we will be enlightened. So I want to share a few points, just 5 points on the mistakes, very common mistakes that people make. The first mistake that I want to talk about in this episode is what I want to call poor planning. Many small businesses make this mistake of poor planning. If you read the Bible in Luke 14, verse 28 to 30, there is something very important that Jesus mentions. That for anyone who wants to build, or if you want to have a certain project that you want to carry out, there is something very important that you need to do. Jesus calls it taking stock or counting the cost. You need to count the cost. This is what I want to call planning. When you start a business, you need to plan. But many people, they end up not planning at all, or they make very poor or shoddy plans. For example, when you want to start any business, however small it is, you need to ask yourself some major questions. Number 1, you need to ask yourself, what do I want to do? Which kind of business do I want to do? Number 2, ask yourself, what entails, ama ni nini kinachohusika na hiyo biashara? What is entailed in that business rather? Ask yourself, if I want to start, for example, a hotel business, what is involved in the hotel business? It's not just about cooking food. There are so many aspects of of the hotel business that are involved. So ask yourself, do I have enough information when it comes to that particular kind of business? Many people, they start businesses, but they do not know much, or they have done little research when it comes to that particular business. And let me say this, you cannot plan effectively if you do not know what you are planning about. So if you are going to plan your business well before you begin it, you need to do research so that you may know what is entailed in that business. So you ask yourself, number one, what do I want to do? And number two, what is involved in that kind of business? Number three, ask yourself, do I have the adequate resources that are needed to start that particular business? Because you need to have some form of resources, be it capital, the money that is required, be it the space, maybe the space that you need. When we talk about a shop, a room, a single room, a double room, depending on what you want to do. There are even businesses that you do not require any space. So you need to plan and see, for the particular business that I want to do, does it require space? Do I need to pay rent? Or do I need to have a place where I can do my business? Or can I even do it online? Can I do it person to person without having to rent a space? So you need to ask yourself, when it comes to the resources, do I have the money? Do I need the space? Do I need to employ somebody? That's another thing you need to check, so that you will not be quick to employ somebody, especially when the business is very small. Remember, you need to pay that particular person that you will employ. So you need to ask yourself, do I need somebody to work in that space? Maybe for you who is employed, you will have to ask yourself, can I do it, or can I employ somebody and I continue with the work that I do in my place of employment? So, my viewer, those are some of the questions you need to ask yourself when it comes to planning. What do I want to keep? Or what kind of business do I want to do? Number two, do I know anything when it comes to that field? And number three, what resources do I need? Number four, when it comes to planning, ask yourself, when do I plan to start that business? Give yourself a time frame so that you will not either enter into the business very quickly, or you may delay too much. And sometimes if you delay too much, you'll find that by the time you are starting that business, either you don't have the passion, or maybe even that particular business is no longer relevant at that time. So you need to give yourself a time frame. Ask yourself, how long do I intend to take before I begin that business? So all that is what we call planning. You need to plan efficiently. And I want to give you just a tip. It is very important, as you plan to begin a business, however small or big it may be, can you get to talk to people? You can consult people in business. Ask them the relevant questions. Ask them to help you when it comes to the issue of knowing what that business is all about, or even what you need to do in order to begin that business. There is someone who said, a wise man once said, that you can go very quickly if you go alone, but you will go very far if you go with somebody. So you need somebody, you need people to walk with you in the journey that you are to take when you are beginning a business. So, my dear viewer, planning is everything. We know it is said that if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. Many businesses fail when it comes to planning because they did not plan well. They are already destined to fail in that particular business. So I would say take time when it comes to planning. A story is given of people who were supposed to cut a tree. They were all given new axes, and many of them began where they went straight ahead to start cutting those trees. But there is one young man who took time to sharpen his axe, and within no time the other people had already become stuck. They could not continue. Their axes were already blunt. But the young man who sharpened his axe, the moment he started cutting the tree, it took a very short time, and he was the one who was rewarded when it came to the rewards for the person who cut the tree the fastest. What do I want to say? Sharpen your axe. Plan effectively. Take time. Research. Ask people. Write down the plan. Have a short-term plan. Have a medium-term plan for your business. And even you can have a long-term plan. For example, 5-year plan. What do you intend, or where do you intend your business to be in the next 5 years? And that way your business is going to to succeed. When you plan well, success is a guarantee. I hope you are enjoying, and I hope you are also learning from what we are sharing. The next thing that I want to talk about, my dear viewer, there are many things we can talk about when it comes to planning. But allow me to go to the second point, the common mistakes that many people make when it comes to business. Number 2 is what I want to call the copycat syndrome. The copycat syndrome. Many people in this country are suffering from this syndrome. By copycat syndrome, I simply can put it as beginning a business because other people have done that business. You are just trying to copy what people have already done. Now, let me begin by saying, sometimes we don't need to reinvent the wheel. What do I mean? It's not a must that you begin a business that has never been done. You can copy a business that has been done, but you do it in your own way. The problem is many people copy and they try to do business like somebody else. Or let me put it this way, you are doing that business because you saw that so and so did the business and they succeeded. Now I want to say this. It is not a must, or it is not guaranteed that because another person did the business and succeeded, that you will also succeed. Mark that very well. Success in business, you cannot photocopy success. You cannot photocopy success. And therefore, as you begin a business, you must begin that business not with the mind that that person succeeded, so I must succeed. But you must begin it knowing very well that you are the one, you as an individual, you are the one who is doing the business, and your success or failure lies in your hands. Are we together? Your business is individual. Your success is individual. And let me also say this. The effort that is needed for the success of the business it lies squarely in your hands. Don't just wake up one morning and think that because this particular business looks like it is going well or like people succeed in it, then automatically I will begin it and I will succeed. I want to give you a good example that happened a few years ago. We all remember the famous quail birds. I know those who are a bit of that older generation, you can remember. There was a craze. Everyone wanted to begin that business. And many of them were doing it just because other people were doing. And they could hear that people are succeeding. And what happened, because of it, everyone copying and trying to succeed in that business, there was a flood in the market, and eventually the quail eggs and you know, the whole business, it became irrelevant. Iliisha tu hivyo. No one wanted the quail eggs. No one really wanted to keep those birds. And I remember many people, one day, they just went and opened the cages that they had kept those quail birds. They opened the cages and the birds just flew away. And that became the end of that business. Hello, I want to challenge you. Before you enter into business, be very careful not to copy, not to do business with the mindset that everyone else has done it and has succeeded. Let me give you a word of wisdom. You don't know what the other person has done in order to succeed. Some have made great sacrifices. Some of them have waited long, they have been very patient before that business succeeded. Let me also say, because we are living in a very different generation, people are looking for quick fix. There are people who maybe have used shoddy routes. They have used shortcuts and other methods to make their business to succeed. You may join that business without that knowledge or information, and definitely you will fail. So don't have that copycat syndrome. It is not automatic that because a certain business looks good, it looks profitable, that necessarily you will succeed in it. What I can give you as a word of advice, chart your own way. Chart your own path to your success. And be willing to go through the process that is required for you to succeed. Let us not have that instant mentality that everything will work instantly, because for sure it may not happen that way. So my dear viewer, the copycat syndrome is killing many businesses, and you should not fall into the trap. So how can you avoid that? Discover that when you want to start a business, you need to look within yourself, look at the area of interest, and also be willing to go through the process that is needed for you to succeed. It may be a long process, but it is worth it. You cannot, even the Englishman, the wise man said that Rome was not built in a day. You cannot begin a business and expect automatic success. There is the process. Don't just look and admire other people's businesses and think that yours will be the same. There is a process. Discover your business, discover your ability, discover the passion within you, discover that particular business that God has designed or wired you for, and follow it. I hope that is clear, and I hope that you are learning, and I hope that we can avoid some of these mistakes that people make when it comes to businesses. Number 3, allow me to talk about the third common mistake that I have seen many small businesses make, is what I want to call unrealistic expectations. Many people, they enter into business with unrealistic expectations. And especially for those who suffer from what we have spoken of earlier, of the copycat syndrome. They enter into business with unrealistic expectations. What do I mean? You begin a business and you think that in the next 1 or 2 months, you will be making double-digit profit. It may not go that way. You need to be very realistic. A wise businessman told me one day that for a business to succeed, you have to wait for at least 6 months for you to break even. That means for you to start realizing profits, you need to wait at least 6 months. For some, it may be 1 year, even 2 years. I read of the story of Coca-Cola Company. When they began in the late 1800s, for 1 whole year, the Coca-Cola Company that we know today being a multinational, the biggest beverage company, when they began, they sold less than 1 crate of sodas for the whole year. That means that every business, however big it may be, has had to go through that journey. And they had to face the reality. What is the reality? The reality is that business must start from down, from the bottom. You must be patient for it to grow. A wise man said that the only thing that starts from the top is the grave. So, you need to be patient. Just like a farmer plants a tree, for example, the mango tree, does not expect that within 2 months, that mango tree will begin giving him mangoes. He has to wait for many years for that mango tree to produce fruits that he can enjoy and he can even sell. A business has to have time. One of the most unrealistic expectations that many people have is the issue of time. You think that you start the business today and tomorrow you'll be making many profits. It may not happen that way. Another unrealistic expectation that people have is that you will have so much money, you will enjoy so much profits, and all your problems will die down in a day. Many businesses, for them to be where they are today, the businesses that we look at and admire, they have had to endure losses, not for just months. Some have endured losses for years, but they are still continuing, and now they have made it. So you need to be realistic when it comes to the issue of the profits. As I was researching on business, I was told that for at least 6 months, you have to be the one to finance that business from your pocket. If you are paying rent, you have to be willing that that business, you will pay rent for the business for at least 6 months. You will have to use the money that you are making, even if it is the little profits, you have to put them back. We say it in business, you are plowing back that money into the business. Don't start eating the profits immediately. That is being unrealistic. You need to plow back that money into the business so that it may produce more. Another unrealistic expectation that people have is that all the people will be flocking to your business. Yes, we pray for favor, we who are born again, but also we need to be realistic that that favor may not happen in an instant. And that's why I say you need to appreciate all the customers that you have, even if it is that one customer. Because from that one customer, will you get another customer and other customers. But don't have an expectation that all the people, all the customers will be flooding into your business. That is being unrealistic. Let me say this as a tip, a wisdom tip. People will always buy into you first before they buy into your business. So, as much as you may have a very nice business, people want to buy into you first before they buy into the business. Be very careful not to think that you can easily manipulate people to come into your business. People, for them to trust you, you need to give them time. So you need to be very realistic that for the business, when it is new, you need to give yourself time. Give it time. Also give people time. Give them time to buy into you. Give them time to buy into what you are selling. There are many people who are selling good products, but themselves, they have not, they are not giving people time to buy into themselves. You are not keen to create relationship with your customers. Remember, business is an issue of trust. If I trust you, if I have confidence in you, I will buy from you. So you need to build yourself so that even as you hope that people will come into your business, they will be able to buy into you first. How do you handle your customers? And the Bible says that do not despise the days of humble beginnings. Do not think that when you have those 1,000 customers is when you treat them well. You need to treat that one customer that you have well. Because from that one will the 1,000 customers come from. I hope you're getting it. So, success is a process. I believe that's what we are saying. Be willing to go through the process. Get rid of all manner of unexpected or unrealistic expectations. Be real. And that's why I say it's good to talk to people. Talk to people in business. Ask them how long they took when it comes or when they began their business. They will tell you. I hope you're getting it, my dear viewer. Number 4 of the common mistakes that people make is what I want to call bad practices or bad habits. You may plan well, You may give yourself time. But there is a wise man who said that how you do something is how you do everything. What do I mean? If you are not disciplined in the way you are carrying out your business, if you develop bad habits, eventually that is who you will become, and it will affect your business. Are we together? For example, one bad practice that many people have is what I call poor pricing. Either you price too expensively, or you put very poor prices, very low prices, in a way that you are trying to take out your competitors out of the market. At times when you are pricing and you are making the prices very low, what you are doing, you are actually killing your business. Wakati mtu mmoja anauza the same product at 100 and you sell it at 50 in order to win people into your business, what you are doing, you are actually killing your business. It's not necessarily that by you being very cheap that you will be the better business person. So you need to price fairly. You need to check the market prices. Don't go way above the market prices, and also don't go way below, because you are killing your business. Eventually, your competitors will take you out of business. So you need to price well. Number 2, I want to talk about bad work ethic. That is one bad habit that many people in business have. Work ethic. How do you work? Some people have very poor work ethic. For example, when all the other businesses are opening at 8 a.m., you open at 9:30. That is having poor work ethic. Sometimes I've heard people say, why do I wake up early and yet customers begin coming in the afternoon? Let me tell you, there are people who are observing your work ethic. Kuna watu wanaona jinsi unavyofanya kazi, and by you impressing them, they become your customers. So you need to ask yourself, am I putting the necessary effort when it comes to my work ethic? Am I working hard enough? That is a question you ask yourself. And you don't need to copy the style. I've said the copycat syndrome has killed businesses. Don't copy the style of working of your competitors or the other people in business. Some of them may not have the information that you have. So your work ethic is very important. And the wise man said that the early bird catches the worm. Sometimes we think that being early is not important. It is important. There are people who will observe and they will realize that you are the person they are guaranteed that when they need that particular product early enough, you are there. And so what will happen, even when it's not too early, because they are used to you being open even early in the morning, they will come to you no matter the time of day, because they are impressed by your work ethic. I want to say this, that your work ethic, the Bible says God blesses the work of our hands. Your work ethic, the effort that you put into your business, that is what actually gives you an edge above the other businesses. You may have the same products, but your work ethic may give you an advantage above the other businesses. And that may be the defining factor between you and other businesses. When it comes to how you handle your customers, That is still part of your habits, the business habits. How do you handle your customers? You know, there is a problem we have, especially in this day and age, where you find people are not very careful when it comes to how they handle their customers. Some people have been known to be very rude, very disrespectful to their customers. You know, we think that because we are living in a very busy generation, that no one really cares how you treat them. Let me say, people care how you treat them. People care more that you care about them. If I go to a hotel, for example, and I'm treated badly, I am not given that quality service. As much as the food may be sweet, I may not be confident to go back there. But where I go and I'm given good treatment, you know, good quality service, as you know, there may be other hotels, but I would feel more drawn to go to that hotel where I feel treated, I feel cared for, I feel appreciated. So, your customer, how you treat your customers, what we call the customer experience, that is what brings customers back. And actually, that is what makes people to refer you to other people. It's not so much about the product. Don't be cheated. Products are good. You need to get quality products. But also, you need to treat people in a quality way. So that as you sell the quality product, you are also offering quality service. That will make people go back. Are we together? So, your behaviors, it is good that you form a good culture within your business. Form a healthy business culture right from the beginning. From the time you open your business, to how you treat your customers, to the kind of products, if you are selling products, the kind of products that you are selling. You know, there are people who like shortcuts, so they sell substandard products in the same, with the same price as the quality product, thinking that people don't really care. People will care. Sell products that are quality. That is part of good business culture. Ensure that you give the best product and also ensure that you give the best service that you can. I also want to talk about something that is very important when it comes to business habits. Avoid eating up your profit. Avoid eating up your profit. There are people who feel that now because they are making profit is meant to enjoy. It's not. So when you are making up your budget for your expenses, please, can you spare your money? Save up your money if you need to, or plow it back into the business. Don't eat it all up. Don't be like that person that Jesus said, that you eat up your seed and also you eat up your bread. You need to know what you need to eat and what you need to sow back as a seed. Plow it back into the business or save it. That way, you will ensure that your business is always stable financially. Many people have eaten up their business, their profit, Others have drank it up. You know what I mean, the alcohol. And you find that many people cannot last in business for more than a year. Why? Because their culture, they have created that culture whereby your business, your profits are meant for enjoyment, that's a very bad culture. It's a very bad mentality. Profits are meant to be a seed. There is the part that you can use up as bread and eat, but profits are meant up to be a seed. You plow it back into the business, use it to expand your business, and that way your business will grow and will be stable. So there are many other bad practices that people have when it comes to business, the bad habits. Talk about, being unfaithful. You are not honest. You are not sincere. You are not, there are people who even are not sincere when it comes to the issue of change. You don't give the customer the correct change. You think that because they are not so much interested in it, you don't need to give it to them. Please be very careful. People are very interested. In fact, I want to repeat, people care that you care about them. So whenever they see that you care about them in every detail, they will always come back to you. I hope we are together. The last point that I would like to share today is what I want to call the trial and error mindset. That's another mistake that many people have. I may not expound it so much, but let me just mention that if you want to succeed in business, you must make up your mind that you are determined to do that business and to succeed. Kuna watu wanasemanga, wacha nijaribu nione kama hii biashara itafaulu. Ukitaka vyema, usiwe mtu wa kujaribu. That trial and error mindset it kills businesses. It kills business people. Why does it kill businesses? Because every time you will not give 100% into that business. The moment you realize that the profits are not coming in, instead of being a bit patient, many people, they stop that business and begin another one. They try another one. Unafanya kidogo miezi mbili, unaiacha, unajaribu ingine. Now, how does that kill you as a business person? The more frustrated you become, the less, you will become less enthusiastic to begin other businesses. Utapoteza hiyo moto ya biashara. Utasema hakuna biashara sijawahi fanya. So why do I need to start again? There are many people who have lost their dreams and even their ability in business because theirs was trial and error. And why is it trial and error? It goes back to the first point that I talked about. People don't take time to plan. You just enter into the business blindly. You don't take time to plan. You don't even take time. You don't rather give yourself time for that business to grow. You are in a hurry. Hii haraka ndio inaharibu biashara jamani. You are in a hurry. You want that business to succeed in the next 24 hours. It may not happen. So, as you enter that business, have a mindset that you are in the business to succeed and you are in it for the long term. Are we together? There is a wise man who said that you can be a jack of all trades but a master of none. Wewe unafanya all types of businesses. I've talked to some people and there is nothing they don't do. Ukimuuliza unafanya hii, ndio hata ninakuanga. Unafanya hii, ndio hata hiyo ninafanyanga. Come on. Can you be someone focused? Let us know you for that particular business, not a jack of all trades. You can have 100 businesses and fail in all of them, but you can have one business. You give it time, you give it all the effort you need, and you succeed in it. Now, I'm not saying that you cannot diversify in business, but even as you diversify, even as you try out other things, do not have a mentality that you are just trying out. You are determined to focus on that particular business, even as you diversify. Sio kujaribu jaribu, you are actually doing it. And that way, you will succeed. So, my dear viewers, I come to a close. We have talked of 5 points, 5 mistakes that many small businesses make. Number 1, we have talked about poor planning. Very important. Plan well. Number 2, avoid the copycat syndrome. Do not begin the business with the mindset that everyone else is doing it and is succeeding. You may not succeed. Discover your line, discover your passion, and pursue it. Number 3, do not have unrealistic expectations. Be very realistic. Know that everything starts small. The only thing that begins from the top is the grave. So businesses start from down as they go up. Give yourself time and you will succeed. Number 4, ensure that how you carry out business, form the right business culture. Avoid bad habits in business. Form the right business culture. How you do your business. Treat customers well. Work hard, give your effort. Avoid time wasting. And that way you will succeed. Finally, do not have a trial and error mentality. When you begin the business, please begin it with the mind that you are in it to succeed. Begin it with the mind that you are not just doing it as a by the way, to pass time. You are doing it because you want to do it and you want to succeed in it. And so, my dear viewer, continue watching PrayerCaveTV. Once again, this is Benjamin Kinga. My business is Piki Errands. We offer taxi services, school transport, and even as we are expanding, we are offering tourism packages for us, the local, the domestic tourists. For more information about my business, you can go back to episode 1. It's on YouTube. This is my source show. It's a joy to always come to you. May God bless you, and God bless you. Have a blessed time. Amen.